Test, test, test. Test, 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 test.
Test. I'm going to be the loudest. You already know that. You were on 2 last time. And
testing. You guys got me?
Test, test, test. I'm pretty soft.
How's my volume?
Test, test, test.
Nami, why do I always have to turn you up?
I don't know. I don't talk loud enough, I guess.
I don't know. Check. I'm good.
Check.
Yeah, we're all good. Nami, do one more.
Test, test, test.
Okay, now we're all hitting at the same level. Good evening and welcome to the broadcast here on the Central Riverhawks YouTube channel as we work out the kinks ready for our section semifinal game between the number 9 Medford Raiders and the number 4 Central Riverhawks. The Raiders are 22-4, 12-0 in their Great Northern Conference. Their head coach is Ryan Brown. It's his 8th year. On the other side for the Central Riverhawks, 21-5, 11-1, co-champions of the Mississippi Valley. Can we just crown them the champs because they won the pivotal one against Onalaska, and their head coach is Todd Fergutt. 19th year for him. Thank you again to Exceed Concrete for allowing us to do this broadcast tonight. As you see, it is up on the board already, as we'll be having that throughout the entire night. But there is Exceed Concrete. They are our sponsor. 608-787-7777 or exceedconcrete.com. Thank you so much for being a sponsor. How do I need to be? Buxton, don't say that I need to be louder. That might not be a good idea.
When he gets excited, we'll want it down low.
Medford defeated Rice Lake last Saturday 53-42 with Logan Bumgardner scoring 18 points and Tanner Harabi adding 9. The Raiders defense smothered the Warriors, and Medford relentlessly attacked the rim for 27 free throw attempts, making 20. Brown said the key was to contain Coach Orr's sons, Tyler and Zach. Medford did that, maintained a lead, and hit clutch free throws. Sounds like a recipe for a win, which they got the other night, Nami.
Yeah, Medford's been a very good program for a long time. This is going to be a tough challenge here tonight for the Riverhawks. The 1 seed, I mean, you got to play them at some point. Tonight's the night for us.
As for the Raiders, what's not to like? Great Northern champions, only lost 4 games, 3 before January, and played a difficult non-conference schedule. Brown said GNC, that would be the Great Northern Conference, not some place to get some supplies, doesn't get as much respect due to most schools being in rural areas, and many of the players don't play AAU or have a nearby basketball training program. As a person who came from a rural area like myself, I respect that. Small town school, go out, beat these other big schools. He did mention the Great Northern Conference was probably the strongest he has seen this year. Mosinee is playing right now, and actually they're down 8 at halftime. And Northern Pines lost in the regional final. Mr. Arnold, I love a rural school. I'm from there, so it's really cool that Coach Brown highlights that and says, hey, maybe we don't have all these other things, but what we do, we come out and play basketball for 5 months, and we do it really well.
That's right, and that's a great testament to the coach and what they have going on here at this school. Basketball is a year-round sport, and so not having all the AAU programs and things like that make it really difficult to field a consistent team year in and year out. If you look on the other side with what Coach Todd Fergutt has going with the youth programs and the LCBA and all that stuff, these 2 teams are where they are today because of the stuff that their coaches put in off season year after year after year. And so, you get great offensive players like Nick Williams, Bennett Freed, Henry Meyer, and you get guys over here like Harabi and Baumgartner, and that comes from thousands and thousands of shots from the time they're 12 years old. So it's just a great game tonight, 2 great programs, and I'm looking really forward to it.
I'm excited to see Logan Bumgardner. Coach Brown wrote a short novel on the senior who does it all. He's the school's all-time leading scorer, 3-point shooter, most threes in a game, season, and top 5 twice in points in a season. But Brown said what makes Logan special is he's humble, a leader, and extremely coachable. He's likely going to play in the Wisconsin Intercollegiate Athletic Conference next year. Harabi is a coach on the court. Metz is starting as a point guard, but he started as a point guard. Now he's a power forward because he took a height leap, and then he rebounds well, plays strong defense. Kleist is a glue guy, captain, huge games this season. And then the X Factor, the guy that I actually asked Coach Brown about specifically was Zach Rudolph, who he called the X Factor. He's the grinding defender on the team's best player. My question of the night for Medford is, can Medford get over the hump? Coach Brown, I asked him, boy, this feels like a rivalry now. Here you are playing Central again. Played them in the regular season where Central won. You played last year twice, once in the postseason as well. And he said, it's not a rivalry until we win.
Well, and he's got a good point, right? I mean, it's not a rivalry till it's a rivalry. So we'll see what they can do tonight. You can bet that they've scouted. They got to play them a couple times, but also scouted Central really well, and you can bet Coach Ferget has also scouted them. So they're going to know each other really well, not just based on their games, but based on the film they've gotten. Should be a really good game.
A huge shout-out to Coach Brown. As I told Nami on our drive up, I think Coach Brown sent more info on his team than I got combined from almost anyone else that we've covered all season long. It was a very special email. I really want to give a good shout-out to Coach Brown for that, because it's a little unlike that we have seen with some other coaches.
And it's cool that he does that. It shows that he's really proud of his team and excited to get some press for his team.
Absolutely. And for the Central Riverhawks, Central and Onalaska had a game for the ages last Saturday, with the Riverhawks winning 41-39. Nick Williams hit the game-winning layup with 1 second left. Central ended the game on an 11-0 run, thank you Buxton, and clamped down on the Hilltoppers. Coach Ferget said Onalaska did a really good job defensively and felt the team was out of sync at times. He put onus on him and the coaching staff, as he always does, to do a better job of getting guys on the same page. That second half of basketball, though, it was a clinic that the Central Riverhawks put on against Onalaska. It was a special night.
Yeah, it really was. I really enjoyed the second half because basketball is a game of runs. That's what makes it so exciting. Onalaska went on a great run to start the half.
Yes, they did.
And Central obviously ended the half with the 11-0 run like you talked about. And it's going to be interesting to see what happens tonight. If I remember correctly, when we watched that Onalaska game, we saw Central come out and switch up their defense a little bit and causing the turnovers, getting some traps and getting some deflections on passes is really what changed it from a stagnant second half into an 11-0 run for us. So if we get into a bit of a run here for Medford, what will Coach Ferget do? What defense will he switch up? Will he change from a zone to a press? Will he change from a press to a zone? What's going to be the adjustments? And, you talked about it before. This is turning into what seems like a rivalry. This is the second time we've played this year. So how this game looks is going to be pretty much based off of how the first game went, right? And so I'm excited to see how different this game looks, how similar it looks, and, it's going to be good to watch.
I remember that Medford was actually leading up to at halftime against Central at their place. Nick finished with 13 points. Meyer had 17 against Onalaska. Nick even said without Henry Meyer's offense, Central doesn't advance. I do want to give the flowers to Bennett Freed. 3 fouls, picked up a fourth, but lasted the final 5 to 6 minutes without fouling. Coach Ferget, dead quote from him. I thought Bennett played a phenomenal game despite the foul trouble. He still was aggressive at times. He was smart to not put himself in situations where he could pick up his fifth. He also was on the floor and was critical because the only shot within 4 minutes, the final 4 minutes that Onalaska took, was Stutley down on the low block. Freed was there, played fantastic defense, and it came up short for that 5-footer. So that was all due to Freed. And again, Nami, he's so important, even though sometimes we forget about him.
Yeah, we mentioned on the broadcast when he had those 3 fouls that was a huge turning point because they can't go very long without him. He does all the little things that Central needs, especially offensively. He's a great defender as well, but especially offensively. And then got that 4th foul, and it's like, oh boy, here we go. And he played really, as Coach Ferget said, really smart and picked his times to attack the basket. He was kind of the unsung hero of that game.
That win was the 12th in a row for Central, which includes a win over this Medford team. Meyer and Freed had 20-plus on the Raiders. Central trailed the game by 2 at halftime, but hit that well-known run in the second half to victory. Despite the win, the Riverhawks had the tougher draw. I know nobody down on the court talked about the seeding, but I do believe the boys had a little chip on their shoulders going to Onalaska on Saturday. My question of the night for the Central Riverhawks is something that we talked about on the Onalaska broadcast. Can the Riverhawks get out in transition? Last week against Onalaska, it came in the second half, but it was very late, Mr. Arnold, when the Riverhawks finally got out into some transition points. And most of that came off of turnovers.
That's right. And so, sometimes you hear the best offense is a great defense, or you hear it vice versa, the greatest defense is a great offense. And so, it's going to be fun to see what we do. Last game, you saw Nick Williams picking up Harabi full court, which really gave us the opportunity to create some turnovers in the first half. It'll be interesting to see if he does that again. And, you look back to the Onalaska game, we didn't force a lot of turnovers off of our defense in the first half because we weren't making that many shots.
Right.
You know how hard it is to pick up a team full court if the ball's not going in the bucket?
Right.
You can't press full court off of a miss. So if we want to develop some full court pressure on defense, we need to make sure we're scoring in the paint so we can get guys up and on their guy in that second that it takes to take the ball out and pass it back in.
True. Yeah, exactly. They speed it up after makes, or, on misses, it's very hard. It's almost impossible to get out in transition and then, as you said, get back in that defense and set things up. And then for the section, I just want to make mention, New London was leading. They're the number 4 seed. They beat Fox Valley Lutheran the other night, and they're playing Mosinee. As we heard, New London was up 8 at the half. Other half of this bracket, let's hear how I butcher these things. West De Pere versus Notre Dame. That's at Pulaski. And Nicolette, did you ever get a final on that?
Nope.
Okay, they're the number 1 seed. They're taking on Whitefish Bay. That's at Slinger. So there's your other half of this particular bracket. It's the Section 1 that we're covering. That's Section 2 on the other side. The winner of this would play either Mosinee or New London, and that would be on Saturday at Marshfield.
Yep.
We do have keys tonight, but I want to hold off on those. What a ball game we should have here tonight. Thank you so much for tuning in here on the Central Riverhawks YouTube channel. We're up. We had no issues. And again, thank you to Exceed Concrete for being our sponsor to provide us with this ball game and this broadcast. Nami.
Do I have some time to talk about Exceed
Go ahead, hurry up.
All right.
Don't hurry up, but
we have the national anthem. Let's do Exceed Concrete after the national anthem.
Perfect. That sounds great to us. We are going to have the national anthem. Again, we're on the road, so we don't get the PA system like we usually do at home.
Between the visiting Lacrosse Central
The Medford Raiders 22-4. These teams, as Mr. Arnold alluded to earlier, met earlier this season. 67-58 was the Central win. And then the Raiders last year, or Central won both games last year, 74-68 in the regular season game. And the sectional final last year was 56-47. That game propelled the Riverhawks to state, which is where Aquinas girls are playing tonight.
That's right. Starting at 6:30, I believe.
Okay. Well, hopefully we can get some updates on them too. I don't know how those games are broadcasted, but Nami, your cell phone's almost public at this point, so somebody will send you.
Feels like it's public.
The Blue Gold's score. Keep us informed on how Aquinas girls are doing.
I will do that.
Now to honor America and those defending our freedom. We have stones.
My boy Owen's asking where the flag is. Doesn't come from the middle of the court.
Playing of the national anthem by the Medford High School Pep Band under the direction of Mr. Trevor Kent.
There we go. That's a Medford High School band that's here tonight. providing us the national anthem. Gotta love that. 22-10 with 7 minutes left of the first half. I'm guessing Aquinas on that update, and they are leading 22-10 at half. So we'll keep tabs on that. Now let's talk about our sponsor for tonight, Exceed Concrete, before I run through the starters for each team.
Absolutely. This game brought to you tonight by Exceed Concrete. We're so excited that they sponsored the game tonight. I want to read to you what their mission is. Their mission is simple. Our mission is to bring you your dreams to life and to offer the highest quality service and experience. We are dedicated to being a business that continually exceeds expectations and provides the finest quality of work and products. We strive to provide unsurpassed services to our respected customers. We transform ordinary concrete into extraordinary works of art. From decorative concrete surfaces to durable epoxy flooring, we enhance the functionality and beauty of your space. Trust us to handle all of your concrete needs from foundation to custom designs with skill and precision. You can contact them for a free quote. The number 608-787-7777 or visit the website exceedconcrete.com. A special thank you to Exceed Concrete for being tonight's sponsor.
We're going to have plenty of shout-outs tonight, too.
Lots of them.
We'll get to those soon. Medford Raiders starters, Tanner Harabi, Zach Rudolph, Ty Metz, Charlie Kleist, and Logan Bumgartner. They go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in the lineup. For Todd Ferget, the Central Riverhawks, Boston Brindley, Nick Williams, Bennett Freed, Henry Meyer, and Tyler Young. Keys tonight. Boy, I wish we had a sponsor just for the keys. Raiders win the rebounding and turnover battle, take care of the take great shots, and win our one-on-one when Central attacks. For the Riverhawks, Coach Ferget breaking it down, of course, offensively, take care of the basketball, good ball movement, side, top, side, skips, player movement, crash the O-boards, and execution of their system. Defensively, keep their scores in check, make them earn it, box out, attack, rebounding, and execute defensive principles. Coach Ferget writing a paragraph and a half on keys tonight, breaking it all down for us, and it's Central that has the basketball first. They're in their black jerseys, red lettering, and they move right to left on your screen.
And you can bet he went over every single key with those boys. They know exactly what the keys are.
What?
Yeah, absolutely. Exactly what the keys are.
Freed at quarter court off to Tyler Young on this near side. If you're noticing the white out over on the far side, that would be Medford's student section. They cut off Freed's water and has to go around to the other side to Young. Freed back up top the key. Deep three-pointer. Air ball and out of bounds.
Pretty good defense there by Medford to start. Force Central into a long shot. Bennett will recover from that. He'll rebound from that.
Seems like Medford was switching a lot off the ball. It's going to be interesting to see if Central makes a plan for that.
Robbie brought it across with, and inside it goes on a little push shot for Kleist, but he rolled it off the heel, and Freed's there. Brindley attacks, skip pass, corner. Williams, three over to the corner.
Oh, wow.
Freed saved it. Well, actually, it was Brindley who saved it. Freed gets all the way inside, muscles it up and scores. So what a second chance opportunity there for the Riverhawks after Williams' three-pointer in the corner missed. Brindley saved, 2-0. Over the far. Oh, go ahead now.
Sorry, nice job by Boston Brindley to give the Raiders the Riverhawks a second chance.
Three-pointer off on this near side for Harabi.
Be interesting to see what Harabi does today. I know we held him to 3 points last time we met, and that is certainly not something you can expect to get twice in a row from a player as good as he is.
Bennett Freed really wants the basketball. Tyler Young on the skip pass. Baseline to Brindley, checks things off, but can't go anywhere with it. And he'll back it up. Coach Ferget calling out a play. He's over to our right. Williams looks. Brindley cuts inside. Oh, he was open.
It's all right.
The cutter.
If they got it once, they'll get it again. We'll keep working the offense.
True. Williams takes a screen from Brindley. Had to back up. 5-second count off to Brindley and far side Young. Reminiscent of the Onalaska game where lots of time coming off. Meyer spin move, push shot with the one hand off. Brindley fires up for an offensive rebound, and he is fouled prior to the pass on the floor. Fouls on Bumgartner, who is a little upset at his own teammate for that offensive rebound.
How about Boston Brindley early here, giving the Riverhawks second chances.
Williams takes a screen from Freed. There's a switch that Arnold was talking about, but it comes back. Meyer over the far side. Thank you again for tuning in here on the Central Riverhawks YouTube channel. Williams takes the three-pointer short, and a rebound, tough rebound by Kleist. Ripped that one away, and Medford looking to go quickly, but no shot.
Central did a good job getting back there in transition defense. Stop the break.
Strittmatter comes to the scores table, driving inside is Rudolph. What a nice pass, getting all the way inside, and the layup good by Ty Metz.
One thing to keep a watch on, too, is Boston Brindley's guarding Baumgartner face up, we would call it. So he is not even looking at the ball, even when Baumgartner doesn't have it. That takes away from help side defense. So that is a play we could see happen a lot tonight.
Meyer slides down on the floor, and a second foul on Baumgartner, who fires up the Medford crowd. And Coach Brown's wanting clarification, too. I'll be honest, I didn't see much on that. I actually thought Meyer just slipped on the floor. But that's a big foul, because that's the second foul on Logan Baumgartner, who we talked about in the warm-up, averaging 20 points per game. Gonna have to sit at 14:33 in the first half. He picks up his second foul for the Medford Raiders. We're tied 2-2. Brindley three-pointer over in the corner. Sorry, Mr. Arnold.
You're fine.
And out of bounds.
Just like last week, Bennett Freed leaving the game early in the first half. Central had to find a way to make it happen without one of their good players. What will Medford do here? Who will their offense run through? I imagine Harabi is going to take a big step up here.
Garrell came in instead, number 25. He's the sub. Metz drives in, gets shut off, and a nice push pass, and a layup for Kleist inside. Boy, they really hammer home the paint. Do the Medford Raiders, and they lead 4-2. Lots of congestion inside.
Doing a nice job cutting to the basket, and then the ball handlers are doing a nice job keeping their head up to make those passes.
And Williams missed his shot, came back around to get his rebound, and he picks up his first foul.
What an atmosphere we got in here tonight.
Right?
Loud.
Snowy, terrible drive. Nami almost put us in the ditch 4 times, but hey, we made it.
Now I'm going to get a text from my mom.
No, I'm just kidding. We made it just safe and sound, but it may not be the best drive home. We are happy to supply you the action on the court. Metz going up against Brindley, had to throw it out. Harabi faced up with Freed. Pass on the outside. Rudolph. There's a senior. Metz is also a senior. Three-pointer quickly triggered over on the far side. Lands up in the lap of Metz, and he can't finish. Whew.
Central dodged a bullet there. Point-blank shot.
Strittmatter tried to go with his left, missed it, got his own rebound, and then a foul called as the ball gets ripped away from Ty Metz. He gets called for his first foul, team's third. Strittmatter on that first shot, partially blocked. Freed will inbound on the near side, baseline. Out to Meyer. Boy, that was a dangerous pass. Meyer comes up with it, left-hand layup, good. Fours at the 13-minute mark.
Love to see Henry get hot here, looking to attack the basket early.
Top of the key, Rudolph gave it away after Meyer slipped down. Second time he's been on the floor. Kleist dribbling, out of bounds. There's that Brindley defense you were talking about, Mr. Arnold.
Yes. Well, after tonight, Henry might have to call Exceed Concrete to fix that floor.
Hey, good call. Well done, Mr. Arnold.
787-7777 to our sponsors.
Love it.
Brindley over to Meyer. Baseline. Well, they were kind of doubling him. Freed, far side, all the way in. Might have got away with an illegal screen. Strittmatter just got out of the way. Freed pads his stats with the second one. 6-4, Central leads.
After Medford turned the ball over last time, I looked at their coach, and Coach Brown was telling the guys, settle down. He wants them to be strong with the ball, not have the silly turnovers.
Top of the key for Metz. Far side, Harabi. Top of the key back to Rudolph. No shot, though. Kleist, couple of head fakes. Gets it off to Garrell. And skip pass, it's Boston Brindley on the steal. Drops it over to Freed. Dunks it with 2 hands.
Wow.
There's that transition we were talking about, boys. 8-4, Riverhawks get out on a run, and the easy slam-a-jamma by Freed, and the Central Riverhawks lead 8-4.
What a great start to the game for Boston Brindley. Hitting the offensive boards hard, gave Central 2 extra possessions, gets the steal on the defense end. We've seen it all year long, what he can do. It's just amazing to watch in person, just unbelievable.
And being able to not have to face guard Baumgartner.
Yes.
That is a huge thing for help side defense. Like we said, getting his quick, easy transition buckets like this, it's a really big advantage for Central right now. They have to capitalize while he's still out of the game. And it looks like he's coming out right now.
Wow, 2 fouls already coming out. 11:51 in the first half. Coach Brown trusting his big-time player and the school's all-time leading scorer, Logan Baumgartner, the senior at 6'4". Keep an eye on him, because if he picks up a third, especially if it's a little cheapo foul, that's big.
Yep.
Has it on the low block, back out, top of the key, Rudolph.
I'm sure Coach Brown feels like we can't go without him. We have to take a chance here.
Yep, and it's your biggest game of the year. He's your senior, right? He's a senior?
Yes, yep.
You got to trust him.
Fadeaway jumper, no good. Stripmatter got to keep his hand down. That's Wilk. Frankie Wilk had subbed in, and so Wilk gets called for that foul. Offensive rebound was by Kleist. Missed the shot, but he was fouled, so 2 foul shots coming at 11:25 here in the first half. I want to first give a big, huge shout-out to Mr. Arnold for coming up with us, because otherwise you wouldn't have the score bug tonight. So thank you for that. We do appreciate it. Other shout-outs, Nami, please give a couple right as we have
I got a real special one. My son, Jackson George, watching back in lacrosse with his mom. So, hey, Jackson, make sure you go to bed on time tonight. You got school tomorrow.
Second one off. First one went through for Kleist. You got to give the coach's shout-out here soon.
We can see
Coach
Medford's
Fergus.
in a different defense right now. They're in some sort of a trapping. It looks like a 1-3-1 trapping zone, full half court.
Good shot fake. Get in there.
That's right. Whenever you're playing against a zone defense, shot fakes, ball fakes, pump fakes, anything you can do to make that defense move before you even actually move the ball is big.
Man, Baumgartner got that off real fast, but he might be pressing things just a little bit. Missed that shot. Who was the last shot for Central as I was trying to get you that shout out?
Henry Meyer.
Okay, thank you. And inside, Freed, no good. Ball gets loose. Meyer going up around the trees and scores. Henry Meyer.
Coach Fergus has to love the intensity on the offensive rebounds. Getting second, third, 4 chances that time.
Pass over to the far side of Rudolph, trying to go inside to Baumgartner. Gets it there, Brindley on him. And what a pass down low. There was not much room. Ty Metz finds the ball, and Freed ends up poking it out. New London and Mosinee, they are tied at 50s. Only a few minutes left. They ended up tipping off early. Of course, yesterday there was 3 games happening in the boys tournament. West Salem, they about blew off the scoreboard where they were playing.
Yeah, what was that, 112?
Yes,
Wow.
and Frankie Wilk takes a 3-pointer, back tapped by Freed.
And this is the time for Frankie Wilk, because they're playing a zone defense, and that is the best time to be a spot-up shooter when the
Meyer.
other team is playing a zone.
Or Stripmatter, no good. Freed almost had it. Ball gets loose on the floor. What a nice play, hustle play over on that far side by Kleist.
He hit the floor first.
Yep, he did.
Coach Buxton told us, low man wins.
And a layup, too. Little floater up and over 2 to score. And it's 10-9. Central still leading by the point. 9 minutes to go in the first half. Oh, my. Yeah, that's a foul on Ty Metz, his second. Ooh-wee.
Looked like a pulling right guard there, Mr. Arnold, the football coach.
That's right.
Coach
Like
Arnold
you
saying
said,
sign him
low
up.
man wins, so
Yeah, that's true.
especially in that case.
That's true. I can actually call you Coach Arnold. Good.
That's right.
Forgot about your golf coach was and football
Yep.
and helping out with football. because I always called Buxton Coach Buxton. So good. We still got a coach up here to help us out. Nami retired. He's giving it up.
Yep, I'm retired.
He quit.
Yep, I've had enough.
Just don't quit up here.
Yeah.
All right? We need you. I need somebody to run the camera.
I got too old. We need young guys like Coach Arnold in there doing this stuff now.
Us old guys will stay up here and
That's right.
blabbermouth for 40 minutes.
And second guess all the young guys.
Right, exactly. He ain't doing that right. Brindley over on this near side. They're giving Brindley a ton of room because he's not really going to shoot the three-pointer. Strip Mater, nowhere to go. Back out. Noah Dingle in for the first time tonight.
I heard that extra excitement in your voice.
Yep. Williams, boy, they're really doing a great job on Williams. Keeping him out of the paint is Kleist.
Yes, they are.
Another long possession. Williams stops. Nowhere to go. Still trying to work his way in. Shot no good. Got his own rebound. Still going up. Blocked this time. And a great play by Garrell.
Great defense by Medford that possession.
Williams would have to fade away if he wants to get that shot off. That was a big block. On the outside, Rudolph. Driving baseline. Back out, Kleist, who's been kind of the motivator for Medford so far in the game. Metz works, short shot. Dingle can't get the rebound. Instead, the putback is up and toilet rolls out for Kleist.
Both teams missing a lot of short little shots, a lot of nerves, I'm sure.
And Williams all the way in, switched hands, got his own rebound, then this time scores. Nick Williams really trying to pad the stats. He must be up to about 5 rebounds. 12-9. Central up by 3. We're hitting the 7-minute and 15-second mark here in the first half. And inside again is Kleist. This time Dingle went away from him, and Freed bounces off of him.
Kleist turned around there, thought he was going to have a wide open layup, and all of a sudden saw the length of Bennett. That really affected his shot.
Yes, it did. We have yet to have a three-pointer. Everybody cold tonight, much like it is outside. Please don't get any colder. It might freeze.
Looks like we got Baumgartner ready to check back in the game as well.
He took a breather, and Ty Metz is also at the scorer's table for Riverhawks. It's Henry Meyer. Free deep three-pointer off the heel. Dingle is trying to track it, and instead comes out with Anakin Stokes, who doesn't play a ton of time, but does when there's foul trouble. Oh, boy. Garrell almost got away with a travel there. Almost struck that pivot foot. Kleist over the far side. Metz top the key. Off to Garrell.
Which team is going to be the first team to start hitting their outside shots? That's going to be key. Neither team is right now.
No. Stokes passes it off. Garrell. I don't think Garrell's taken a shot yet. He has not.
Really enjoy watching this offense here. They do a really good job of moving away from the basketball.
Missed and just grazed the hoop there for Rudolph at the top of the key three-pointer. Agreed with you there, Coach Arnold, that the ball movement for Medford is there. It's just they can't seem to get their shots to fall because, I mean, if you looked at their spot chart or their shot chart right now, a lot of it is in the paint.
Yeah, Central too.
Yes.
A lot of nerves, big game. They'll settle
here
down.
Medford switching back to that trapping half-court zone, that 1-3-1.
Short corner, Freed, yes.
That's a spot you look for against that zone, the short corner, and then skip passes to shooters on the other side of the court.
Yeah, right now, everybody's long distance has been cut off. I was going to make a joke there of company, but I won't do that. 14, and you never know who will sponsor us next.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Arabi over the far side. Now it's Kleist dribbling. Meyer cuts him off. Baumgartner, who did sub in, as Coach Arnold had alluded to, was at the scores table. So was Metz. He just touched it. And back off to Rudolph. Back to Metz with Freed on him. Kleist almost quarter court, those hot pink shoes. Baumgartner back down. Brindley, but not a lot of movement there. Kleist gets all the way inside. Meyer playing great defense. Freed is there for the rebound. And a foul called on Metz, his third. And
That's a big deal.
He was not happy with it either, Coach Arnold. 14-9 our score, 4:46 to go. Did kind of reach up. I didn't think there was a lot of contact there either, but you could definitely say he hit him on the arm.
Central definitely had position there. He kind of came up over the top.
That's just it.
A little ticky-tack, but.
Freed had the position, though.
Right.
You called it correctly.
Yep.
So Tyler Young had also subbed in. Williams trying to take a screen, back off to Freed.
Freed is liking that baseline right there.
Oh, Meyer, that's a tough shot. And Brindley coming in. Didn't mean to hit Baumgartner in the face. Third foul on the Riverhawks, just the first on Brindley. 5 on Medford as we hit 4:25. Of course, you'll see all of that on our scorebug. Coach Arnold's all over it. Buxton, it's nice knowing you. 14-9.
Finally found a replacement.
Hey, he was having internet issues last week, remember.
That's true. He actually was at Onalaska because he was using the hotspot. And then everybody got on it. I know our video quality wasn't quite where it should have been, but we had to deal with the hotspot. Baumgartner, deep three-pointer. No good. Williams there on the rebound. Boy, can anybody hit it. You know, I'd like to say tremendous once in this game.
You'll get it. We'll get hot here.
It's happened almost every game that we have covered. Central has hit a run eventually, whether it be early in the first against Toma in that first playoff game. On Alaska, it was late in the second. Meyer push shot short and took it away on the offensive rebound up and over Rudolph, and it's surprised that didn't get called.
Yep, especially if you're going to call the stuff on the other end. The fans are they're gonna remember, no matter if it's a couple minutes later or a couple, 10 minutes later. They're going to remember and they're going to let you hear it.
Nice curl screen. Rudolph took it and then scored 8 feet away. Boy, I don't think he realized how open he was. He looked like he was going to pass it off and then realized there's nobody there.
Breakdown in communication for the Central defense on that possession.
Yes. Meyer, baseline, shot over 2 and scores. And that gets the clap. Whoops, I put that on the wrong guy. That was Meyer, not Freed. But the clap by Rudolph afterwards. And how about Harabi coming back in? Harabi, that's only his first 2. I think you were looking at that too, weren't you, Coach Arnold?
That's right.
Williams, corner, Young, not going to take. Tried to dribble it on the baseline, had to get out of it. Solid team defense by both teams. Just a couple of breakdowns here and there, but also some rough shooting. Meyer, a little head fake, drives in, trying to show off all of his skills. Tyler Young reaching into the cookie jar of Baumgartner. He had possession this time, so that time does get called. Tyler Young with his first, 4th on the Riverhawks. Only 2:20. Where did this first half go? 2:21. Neither team has taken one timeout taken in this entire first half. That was by Coach Brown of the Medford Raiders after the two-hand dunk.
Sorry, Joel. I think similar to up at Onalaska last week, both coaches know they're going to need their timeouts late in the second half, so don't want to use them here now.
Baseline, that's Kleist. Splits a double, and even though the hands are up, I believe Tyler Young reached, nope, they're going to call Dingle. I actually thought Young had reached down prior to Kleist going up, and Kleist is the only man who's had the free throws on the night. He went 1 of 2 earlier. A 5-point lead, 2:05. You probably saw the same text I did, Nami. 2:05 to go. 18-13, and off the heel and then down. Little home cooking on the rim there for Kleist, who he averages 13 points per game. He shoots 63% at the free throw line. As a team for the Medford Raiders, they shoot 70%, and Central's at 71. Both teams are very good free throw shooter teams.
Smart move by Medford coaching staff here. Get Baumgartner off the floor. There's no reason you want to get a third foul here in the last 2 minutes and have him potentially have to sit to start the second half. Very smart. You got what you could out of him this half. You take what you've got and you live to play another half.
Freed, wing 3, long rebound. Brindley ends up snagging it.
Also very smart of Joel to talk about how great a free throw shooting team they are when they're at the line.
They shot 50% so far tonight.
I like that. Keep it up.
0 for 8 are the Riverhawks from deep. 0 for 5 are the Medford Raiders. I don't know why I want to call them the Medford Tigers. I think that might be the Minnesota team. Meyer baseline. Looks, backs out Williams.
And some people might call this stalling, but really what we're doing here at Central is we're looking for the right shot. And we're patient, we're not willing to force things, and if this brings us all the way down to nothing, then so be it.
Oh, instead it ends up with Nick Williams driving all the way inside, so smooth, as Nami says.
And he finishes so well when he gets to the basket. It's the moves to get there, and then goes up effortlessly. It's fun to watch.
Meyer with the steal, and we have a push foul prior to the fast break opportunity as Garrell on the push.
Clear path foul in the
That's
NBA.
right. In the NBA, that'd be a technical.
You got it. But here, it's just the common foul.
You do have to be careful, though. I mean, because if you don't make an attempt at the ball, technically that is a flagrant. So those fouls are hard because you want to make an attempt at the ball, but if they're far away from you, sometimes the way you reach, it may get you a flagrant foul call.
And it's interesting you say that because I looked down at our coaches and they were asking the official about an intentional foul in that situation there. Exactly what you're talking about.
An intentional doesn't have to mean dangerous always.
Correct.
It doesn't have to look ugly. It's by the rule, it means you're not making a basketball play. So that can just be a simple shove in the back. And sometimes it's called really clearly, sometimes it's not. In big games like this, I think refs want to swallow the whistle.
Agreed. Yep, you got to let them play. It is the section semifinal. Teams would play for a right to state. Winner of this would play Saturday at Marshfield. We'll see who they're going to play, New London or Mosinee. That's the two teams that were playing on the bottom half of the bracket. 5 seconds left. Nick Williams needs to go. Not making a move. Bounce pass, and it's thrown away by Kleiss. Three-quarter court. No. Hit the drum. Look out! Oh, he's fine.
Did you think you'd get the three Mendes there, Joel?
No, I did not. Kleiss with the heave. They finish 0 of 6 from three-pointers in that first half to the Medford Raiders, and 2 of 4 at the free throw line. We'll talk full stats here in just a minute, but the halftime score is 20-14. Our ties were at 2 and 4. That's it.
Yeah, I think we're seeing a grind 'em out game. Two really good defensive teams. When you have two really good defensive teams, that means on the offensive end, it's going to be a little ugly, and it has been ugly for both sides. I'm surprised with some of the open shots that both teams have missed. I can't imagine that's going to continue into the second half. I think we'll see a little more offense in the second half. But, when two really, really good defensive teams go up against each other, this is what you get.
Yeah, that's right. And you see that when we play on Alaska, Central plays on Alaska, you usually get a low-scoring game. Not because the teams are bad, not because they can't score, but because these are really well-coached teams that we have here tonight, and they don't give up easy buckets. And all the buckets that Central has gotten down low seems like they've come off of loose balls or offensive rebounds. And so credit to both coaches defensively. You just got to keep what you're doing. I know Medford is excited for the second half because they're getting their highest scoring player in Baumgartner back with only 2 fouls, so he's not really in foul trouble anymore. And, Central, you got to be happy with how you took care of the ball in the first half. When you go back to how we played earlier in the season against these guys, they got out to a little bit of a lead against Central because Central turned the ball over a few times in a row, and we haven't had any sequences yet like that where Central has turned over the ball, and that's probably why they have a 6-point lead right now.
I mean, stats-wise, boy. I mean, 2 for 4, as I said, at the free throw line for the Medford Raiders. They go 0 and 6 at the free throw from deep. Kleiss has 6 points, 4 for Betts, 2 from Rudolph, and Arabi with 2. That's it. It does add up to 14, so that's something. For the Central Riverhawks, 3 scores. Nick Williams, 4. Freed, 8. Meyer, 8. 0 for 8 at three-pointers, and 0 for 0 at the free throw line. Never had a free throw. I'm going to give a shout-out. You were just talking about coaches. Coach Fergut and I have had one heck of a relationship building on this year, and I think he might have given me the hardest handshake I've ever received from Coach last week at the Onalaska game after I went down there and after we packed up. And I want to give a great shout out to his parents, Sam and Mary. You are watching. Thank you so much for following along with us. Hopefully you're enjoying the content that we are providing here tonight. Is that Press Isle? Did I say that correctly? Press Isle, Wisconsin?
That's what it looks like to me.
Okay,
Yep.
well, that's good. At least I said one of the towns here in this state right. But thank you so much for following us along and watching. So a huge shout out to the Fergut parents.
How about shout-outs for me? I got a couple.
Oh, good Lord. How much time we got? No, we got plenty of time. 7
Okay,
minutes.
good.
We'll give a couple, then we better hit our sponsor, too.
Sounds good. My first one is to, I feel really bad about this because she's my teaching partner, Miss Jennifer Voigt. Apparently it's her birthday today. I worked with her all day today and did not know it was her birthday, so did not wish her a happy birthday. So sorry, Miss Voigt,
well,
happy birthday.
Condemn you. Huh?
Yeah, no kidding. I would have brought a present and a cake and all that, but since I didn't know, I couldn't, and it doesn't do any good to bring it tomorrow. It's too late then, so I guess.
Never too late for cake, Nami.
Happy birthday, Miss Voigt. Also, shout out to Micah Mosley, has a watch party going on back home. And so I told him I would shout him out. Hopefully he's in a better mood than he was today. He was ornery today in resource, so hopefully he's in a better mood now. I'm sure listening to us has cheered him up, so that's a good thing.
I'm sure he's relaxed. Well, relaxed. You know, the soothing calmness of myself giving the play-by-play.
Absolutely. Let's do our sponsor, should we?
Yes.
Okay.
And then you can do more shout-outs.
Hey, I got a score update, too.
Oh, yes.
From Mr. Buxton. He said New London won, 61-57.
61-57. Wow.
Great
close,
game.
Yeah,
game.
very close game. And that Mosinee had come back. So, New London. Okay. How about the 4 seed coming out of that?
Yeah, wow. So, once again, just so everybody knows, we would not be here tonight without the kindness of Exceed Concrete, who is our game sponsor for tonight. Exceed Concrete, exceeding your expectations. I want to go over their mission statement again. Their mission is simple. Our mission is to bring your dreams to life and to offer the highest quality service and experience. We are dedicated to being a business that continually exceeds expectations and provides the finest quality of work and products. We strive to provide unsurpassed services to our respective customers. We transform ordinary concrete into extraordinary works of art, from decorative concrete surfaces to durable epoxy flooring. We enhance the functionality and beauty of your space. Trust us to handle all of your concrete needs, from foundations to custom designs, with skill and precision. Contact them at 608-787-7777 or go to the website exceedconcrete.com. Thank you once again to Exceed Concrete for being tonight's game sponsor.
Yeah, again, we could not be here without them, so we do totally appreciate what they have been doing for us and letting us do this game and the travel and everything else. So thank you for being a great sponsor for our ball game tonight.
Aquinas girls are up 42-21.
Oof.
So they've taken over.
They're doubling up. 42-21. Wow.
Ready for some more shout-outs? I got some more.
I'm going to give one real quick.
Go ahead.
I'm going to give a shout-out to my wife, Dana, for one, because she's handling all the business back at home. And two, a shout-out to my dog. Izzy kind of broke a nail right at her paw. Had to go to the vet today. Seems to be okay, on some pain medicine, and hopefully she will be back to normal here soon. I say this to her, and I know that there's a lot of dogs out there and a lot of dog owners, and they think they have the best dog. My dog is the best dog in the world, and you're never going to top her. She is the best dog. I tell her that all the time. I wish I had a CM Punk shirt for her that she could wear that says best in the world, because that dog has lit up our family. We would not even be a family without our Izzy girl. So shout out to my dog. Hopefully she gets back on the mend, as it's hard to see your dog just moping around. And how about my boy Owen, who is now sleeping in a big boy bed, out of the toddler bed, not even 2 years old, and he's in an adult-sized bed.
That's a big
day.
No
rails.
That's a big moment.
So, yeah.
Yep.
Anyway, those are my shout-outs.
Good for and an animal shout-out. That's a first. That's interesting.
An animal shout-out.
All right, we got to shout out a couple people. Gab Jar, who is in the Health Science Academy, a junior in the Health Science Academy. Gabby Jarman, that's a shout-out to you. Hope you're enjoying the broadcast. Emma and Todd Fisher, who are watching the broadcast back home. Hopefully I'm on the big screen. Hopefully you got me up nice and loud so you can hear me.
Thank God you're not on the camera.
Thanks for watching. Let's see. Oh, I got one. A very special shout-out to the 8th grade LCBA team, who's having a phenomenal season. I think they're like 23-3 or something like that. They'll be big high schoolers next year. But they got guys like Gabe Service, who happens to be my favorite Service. We got Ezra Weezy, Charlie Buxton, the whole crew. And I know they're either here at the game or watching. Of course, my son plays on that team. Got to give a shout-out to
wherever he went.
Catherine Axness. She gets a forever shout-out. Catherine.
Yeah.
She every game. Yep.
Coach Olson's another one.
Coach
He's
Olson
watching
gets a
us
shout
every
out.
time.
My wife.
I just looked. We have over 300 people watching right now.
My wife gets a shout out. Jackson texted me right after I shouted him out. Said, shout out Mom, because she's not feeling very good. So I hope she's feeling better. She's been sick the last couple games. So hopefully
always
she's
a
feeling
shout
better.
out for the wives.
Shout out to Katie Hansen, who was on my 2014 state tournament team, who is tuning in from somewhere. She just likes the broadcast. I think she's in North Carolina or South Carolina or Arizona. She's somewhere. But thanks for tuning in, Katie. Miss you. Make sure you come back and visit sometime. I think that's good for now.
Coach Arnold,
Aubrey Haas. I can't forget Aubrey Haas.
Another one who watches.
Another one who watches regularly. So thank you, Aubrey. Now my phone's really blowing up. We better stop with the shout-outs for a little bit.
Coach Arnold?
Yeah, just shout out to my wife, Sierra. We have a lot of things to take care of at the house, and I'm going to be out till probably midnight tonight.
I know,
considering
you got the
the
bus.
roads, and we're riding slow with the bus. So she's doing everything at home that needs to be taken care of, and I'm just going to get home and go right to bed. So big shout out to her for tonight. And yeah, there's a lot more, but we only got a minute left.
Right.
So
wherever there's a decent man, there's a better woman behind him.
That's right.
Supporting him.
Yeah, it's nice.
Probably rolling their eyes as well.
It's nice that we have wives that let the boys go out and play once in a while.
Yeah. Very fortunate.
Yeah.
All three of us are very fortunate.
Katie Hansen is watching from North Carolina. I got the update. So
there you go.
We have a North Carolina viewer.
20-14 our score. The section semifinal, Division II. There's a bunch of other games, of course, too, I talked about with the other half. So keep an eye on those and then section 3 and 4 are also playing tonight. As we mentioned, there was only 3 games that happened yesterday, and 2 of those were West Salem, who won 112 over GET 54, 112-54, and Luther, right up the road from La Crosse, ended up winning 60-55 over Monroe Point. So congratulations to those 2 teams as they've made the section final. My gosh, does West Salem, they are just on a roll. West Salem boys are special.
it's going to be hard to beat them.
They're good.
And Central played them, Onalaska played them, came up short. Both teams came up short. So yeah, that's a great group they've got at West Salem.
Got more shout-outs. Cora Hansen, Jakira Abraham, of course, former HSA kids. Jim Hansen and Mike Gregner, my former softball coaches, assistant coaches are watching. We got a lot of people watching tonight.
I'm telling you, we're over 300.
Alex
that's
Niemov.
only 300 streams. There
Right,
could
correct.
be multiple people on some of those
Watch
streams.
parties. There's watch parties going on.
Watch parties going on.
Alex
Thank you so
Niemov,
much.
HSA junior. Thanks for tuning in.
If you have any complaints or things you want to talk to us about, then Nami at Central, I don't know his email off the top of my head. I should by now. I've tagged him in almost everything I've been writing on my Google Drive, and away we go. Second half, 20-14. Central Riverhawks and the Medford Raiders here in Menominee. And a bad pass to open it up, and Freed takes it off that pass from Rudolph, and a turnover to start things for the Medford Raiders.
You know, Central's got to be happy coming out of the half with a 6-point lead, but we only have 3 players who have put the ball through the hoop right now, and Baumgartner didn't put any points in the hoop last half. That's not going to happen again. So we're going to need a few of the other guys to get some good looks and get the ball to go in the hole. Guys like Peyton, guys like Frankie, Tyler, who are out there right now, get a couple buckets here and there, and things will start to fall.
Freed, top the key three-pointer, rolled off twice, and then Tyler Young reaching in, and another foul on him. That would be his first in the second half. You're exactly right. Coach Arnold mentioned it. Meyer had 8, Freed had 8, Williams with 4, and that's it in the first half. And for the Medford Raiders, exactly, Baumgartner, I didn't even mention him. He went at 0 for 3 with those 2 fouls. Never really got back into the game for himself. I think he kind of forced a couple of his shots as well. And Freed gets called on the foul, trying to deny Kleist all the way at the top of the key. Got to let that one go if you're Freed. That's only his first, though, but 2 quick fouls on the Central Riverhawks. Free throws are going to be super important as we get down to the nitty-gritty in this one. Corner, Baumgartner. No good. Rebound comes to Meyer. Outlet pass to Williams. No stopping for Nick. All the way in, but his shot too strong off the backboard.
Strange night. I mean, you don't see Baumgartner miss that shot as much as he's missing it tonight. You also don't see Nick Williams miss that shot as much as he's missed it tonight.
Central so far this half has had a three-pointer that was halfway down, and Nick Williams on a real short shot. They could have 5 extra points here.
Great defense there by Peyton Strittmatter.
Harabi had it go up and over Strittmatter on the shot, but missed. As Coach Arnold said, good straight-up defense. As Strittmatter had already subbed in for Tyler Young. Got to get a shooter out there, which is exactly what number 10 is. Is his dad here? I haven't seen him yet.
Strittmatter?
Yes,
yes,
I'm sure
he's here. He's wearing a basketball net for a hat.
Oh, I love that guy. He's one of our faithful
Yes, he
friends.
is. He'll go home and listen to the broadcast.
Yes, he will. Williams over the far side. Dribbling, push shot, good for Nick Williams. He's up to 6, leads at 8.
How about we get Nick Williams going a little bit? That would be fantastic.
Brought across by Harabi. Crossover dribble to Kleist. Works his way to the elbow. Nowhere to go. Bumgardner to
Great defense.
Brindley, and nearly a steal on Bumgardner. And this time, a foul called on Brindley. Maybe a little too close. That was awfully close to the thing that happened to Meyer in the first half, where I thought he fell down, and that actually caused the second foul on Bumgardner. This is the second foul on Brindley.
I thought they might have called a 5-second call there for a second. I mean, Baumgartner never advanced closer to the basket when the ball started getting looser.
That would have been a more appropriate call.
Right, and Freed blocks. Boy, that ball was halfway down and out.
Well, it hit the backboard, so that probably should have been a goaltend.
Yes.
In high school basketball, if the ball touches any part of the hoop and then you deflect it before it has a chance to go in, that's a goaltending.
Official must have thought that Freed touched it prior to it hitting the backboard, but
The Medford parents agree with you. I'm standing right by
Well,
them.
and you also got to realize where the officials are standing on the court, that's a hard call to make.
woo! 3 Mendes for Henry Meyer.
That was a long
Oh
three, too.
my, Steph Curry, eat your heart out.
No kidding.
25-14, the lead's up to 11.
You just knew those shots had to start going pretty soon. Central's too good of a team to keep missing that all night long.
And too much dribbling around by Medford. You were talking, Coach Arnold, earlier in the broadcast about how good Medford has been with their ball movement. That time, very stagnant with Harabi just working himself. That was it. Little trap coming. The pass off Strittmatter. Can't hold on to the ball too long if you're Strittmatter as the pass comes to Brindley and far side of Williams.
Looks like they're looking to get the ball to Bennett Freed in that short corner area, which they've been good at getting it so far.
Williams knifing his way, and then back to Brindley.
Medford in a little bit of a danger zone here. Central able to pull the ball out and draw out the defense. 11-point lead.
And got it inside to Freed at the free throw line. Inside, Freed's fouled on the attempt of a dunk.
So because Central pulled the ball out, Medford's defense had to come out. That opened up space inside for Bennett to work.
First foul on Kleist. And first foul on Medford. 14:08 as you see on the score bug. Along with our great sponsor tonight, Exceed Concrete, right up there as well. As Freed's at the free throw line. Glad we got that logo on the screen for Exceed Concrete. Thank you, Josh Buxton, as well as Coach Arnold, for setting everything up through our software. So Freed hits the first and has a chance for a second. Well, actually, he already did because there was a shooting foul. And he hits a pair. 27-14, 13-point lead.
Yeah, and I kind of want to go back to that potential goaltend. If you look where the official is standing, they're standing behind the basket. It's really hard in a bang-bang play for that official on the baseline to determine if that ball hit the basket or not already.
Bumgardner misses the three-pointer. It's Henry Meyer that bumps Metz. And that's the first foul on Meyer. Bumgardner with that three-pointer. He's now 0 for, I don't really want to say how many because then all of a sudden he'll turn it on. He's a 20-point scorer and the team's and school's leading scorer all time. There he went to work. put the hard hat on, and Logan Bumgardner scores for his first 2 of the evening. He is 1 of 6. Now I'll say it because he's not an over.
Sometimes if you can't get the long-range ball to go in, you just got to see it go through the twine once or twice.
Yes.
And so you got to get in the lane, you got to get a couple easy shots, and then those outside shots will start to fall.
Meyer wanted it deep on the corner. He took it, missed it, and Metz comes down, Rudolph comes down. Oh, my God, it's here.
And
Robbie actually is the one that took that three-pointer.
Central
He's
again,
not get it right.
Central again very content to just slow the game down now.
Right.
11-point lead, 13 to go.
That's why I was wondering why Meyer wanted to take that three-pointer, but I think he was feeling it after that deep three-pointer. He can't already. Strittmatter, short corner, Freed, all the way inside. Lost the ball on the way up, I think, or Kleiss might have actually hit it. And an a defensive rebound by Medford. Skip pass over to Baumgartner, and everybody resets for the Raiders. Driving on the right side is Bumgardner. Puts his hard hat on again, goes all the way inside. What a tough physical play there by Logan Bumgardner. Scores, and it's 27-18 as Logan Bumgardner putting his will onto the court here for the Raiders and putting them on their back, on his back.
I love him trying to go inside and get going that way. He thought he was fouled on that too, and he may have been bumped a little bit. But I think on Central's offensive end, if you get that look, Bennett going one-on-one at the basket with as athletic as he is, I think you're going to take that. He lost it on the way up or it got deflected or whatever. But more times than not, that's going to end up in points for Central. So I think if you're Coach Fergut here, you say, let's keep on bringing their defense out. Let's see if we can isolate Bennett down there, get some action down underneath, and get some easy baskets that way.
That was the second timeout of the game for Medford. Central has yet to use one. 32nd timeout there by Coach Brown after the make by Bumgardner. 27-18, 12-33, a trip to the sectional final. These two teams just 2 wins away from state tonight and Saturday. Saturday will be at Marshfield. We didn't really talk about how the two teams got all the way here, but for Wausau West is how Medford won their first game, then defeated Menominee 71-43, and then Rice Lake 53-42. Or pardon me, it was just Menominee and Rice Lake. They had the bye as well. So I'm looking at the wrong one there. And then Toma and Onalaska for Central. Now they got to this point, the sectional semifinal. Battle with New London coming up on Saturday for one of these two teams as they tipped off early, try to avoid some of that weather. Strittmatter to the short corner to Freed.
If I'm Freed, I go here. You want to get that third foul on Baumgartner, and you have the size and the length on him.
Gave it up, Strittmatter corner. Off to Williams, and a foul. Diving play there. That is by Ty Metz. 3, yep. Just wanted to make sure I saw it correctly. That's Metz's 4th.
Yeah. 4 fouls early in the game for that. I would imagine he's only going to sit for 5 minutes or so. You can't let him sit too long. Got to trust your players in games like this.
Yeah, maybe 6 at the 5-minute mark, maybe bring him in, but I'm with you. Probably closer to about 7. Because you can't hold it for 2, or you can't wait for too long.
Oh, Freed was open underneath.
Yes, he was. Instead, Brindley backed it out, and Williams.
Sometimes that happens when you have a switching defense. People lose people who are cutting. You got to be able to find those guys if you're Central.
Oh, Freed on the backdoor
Yeah.
cut was there too, as you said, but the ball had already been moved to Brindley.
Oh,
and
boy.
everyone lost the paint, and Brindley scores on an easy layup. 29-18.
That's what happens when they have to come out and play defense like that. What great offense by Coach Fergut to suggest that right now, up by 10 plus with 11 to go. Make them come out and play defense on you, and you can go right around them.
Rudolph passes, trying to get inside to Bumgardner, and Brindley was trying to save. Bumgardner kind of shielded him away out of bounds off of the Riverhawk. So Medford will have to inbound all the way over to that far corner.
Jim Hansen texted me earlier and said that Bumgardner is going to go home and have nightmares about Boston Brindley, and I think that's exactly true.
Yes.
He has been all over him.
Bumgardner in the corner, short, rebound, and off of Freed. And you can see Bumgardner's a little frustrated at himself too. Kind of not spiking himself, but flexing the muscles, getting a little intense because he knows that he can hit those shots.
Well, and
Two times in a row, they're passing to that corner right there out of the baseline.
He actually had an open look that time, which he hasn't had much of tonight, and then he missed it, so that's where his frustration's coming from.
Kleiss comes back over. Garrell, who's been playing a ton of minutes tonight. Bumgarner open on the wing three. Short rim and out of bounds, and you can tell he is just absolutely frustrated to no end. But that's the problem. And well, that's what Central is excited about, because they frustrated the young man to sit here and try to force shots. And you can even see Coach Brown, maybe he could. I'm not looking at the monitor, sorry. But Coach Brown's even telling him, settle down. Got to keep your emotions in check.
Yep.
It's a big game. Obviously, Medford was one game more last year in this tournament, but then lost to Central. They lost to Central last year in the regular season, this regular season. So it's in their head right now.
And for Baumgartner, there's a lot of game left. There's a lot of things that can happen here. You got to keep on just plugging away. Hasn't been his greatest shooting night, but you never know what can happen.
Young over to the far side to Meyer. Meyer trying to go baseline.
Nobody's on Freed right now.
Right.
Yep.
Kleiss does come out to guard.
This is fine for Central. Run it down.
Brenly,
There.
Meyer, right. Could probably lead him if you give him a good pass.
Could put it up right next to the rim, and I bet he could go up and get it.
But unless you're sure, you don't want to do it. You don't want to have a turnover here.
That's right.
Brinley down low to Freed, layup good. What a find by Boston Brinley, and a great layup by Freed. He's up to double digits at 12.
Love the offense there. I know there were some open cutters. They would have been difficult passes. They probably could have made them, but just keep running the offense. The more offense you run, the more clock runs, and then you end it with an easy basket at the hoop.
And even Brinley, that pass was not an easy pass to Freed.
Right, wrapped it around the defender.
And Brinley getting a little too close to Bumgarner. That's Brinley's third. He can still play aggressively smart, but you don't want to pick up your fourth. He will sub out for a little bit, probably because Coach Fergut and company want to talk to him just for a little bit. That's Strittmatter in for him with Young, Meyer, Freed, and Williams. That's Rudolph.
And you'd imagine this is the
Mets with the bad are trying to play the defense on Williams, but instead the pocket picked and jumping the passing lane. Williams goes down and lays it in. 33-18. Go ahead.
I was going to say, you could see Baumgartner, his expression almost kind of lightens up a little now that Boston's not here. And you can see him when the ball's coming up the floor. He's trying to command people around him. I think he's ready for this moment. We'll see what he does.
8 points make that for Kleiss. That's his first two in the second half. 33-20, 8.5 to play. Second half. New London awaits at Marshfield. Ooh, Williams, not the place you want to pick it up, but he got opened. Meyer pad his stats back up. Layup good. Second chance opportunity there for Meyer. Just wanted his rebound too. He's up to 13.
With that trapping defense by Medford, that's going to leave open that diagonal pass. If you're strong enough to make it, they were able to that time.
Baumgartner putting that shoulder down. Strittmatter, he can't go with the charge though, Nami, as you love to talk about charges with Sienna Torgerud, who I saw here earlier tonight. He can't put that shoulder down because the way Baumgartner is moving, it's hard to stay in front of him.
Right.
Almost impossible. Young over to Meyer in the corner.
I was just looking to see if Boston was if Boston was going to come back in, and he's already ready to check in at the table.
The scorer's table. Strittmatter, timeout by Coach Fergut. He's got 5 in his back pocket. And 35-22, timeout Coach Fergut. 7:32 to play. Central leads by 13 over the Medford Raiders.
Tonight's game brought to you by Exceed Contract, exceeding your expectations. Phone number is 608-787-7777. Or you can go to the website, exceedconcrete.com. You can get a free quote. I'm trying to do a quick one here. Decorative concrete surfaces, durable epoxy flooring, all of your concrete needs. Contact Exceed Contract. Contact Exceed Concrete. There we go. Exceeding your expectations. Thank you, Exceed, for your sponsorship tonight.
And there's that phone number and website right up there on the screen for you. Thank you so much.
A little bit of a tongue twister got me all tied up.
If Central does win tonight, we will be broadcasting the game coming up on Saturday. Nami, is that going to be you, me, and question mark?
Me, yes.
Me?
You, question
yes.
mark. You,
no,
yes?
I'm a yes.
Oh, perfect. Okay, good.
Inside Strittmatter, double pump, missed it, freed there for a rebound, put back good. Oh, it rolled out.
How did that roll out?
I have no idea. Bumgarner going all the way in, splits the defense, and he misses a layup.
Bumgarner's so frustrated right now. You just see it in his body language.
Well, he's tired, too.
He
I
is.
mean, having to deal with Boston. I said on the one broadcast, I think I'd rather have a root canal than have Boston Brindley guard me. Oh, that's a bad pass. Bumgarner tipped it. Almost had the steal.
And that's what you can't do if you're Central.
Right.
Strong with the ball.
Yeah.
Williams trying to get all the way inside. Contact on the dribble drive. This is not a shooting foul. It's on the floor. That's the second foul, or first foul on Zach Rudolph.
Yep, if you're Central, that was not the tempo you're looking for there. That looked a little rushed, a little panicked.
Just settle down, you're fighting right there. There you go.
Brindley on the outside. Well, as I went down the wormhole of Twitter the other night about shot clocks.
I saw that post.
Yep, there was a heavy discussion. Even there was Riverhawk in on that discussion too, if you saw.
I like no shot clock when we're up 13 with 6 to go.
Well, yeah, that's everybody likes it when you have the lead. Brindley back out. I'm for it. I think I've made my.
There's that cross-court
Yep,
pass we
there
talked
it
about.
is.
Yep.
Myers scoring. Yeah, I'm all for it. I've made my opinion well known on this broadcast throughout the entire year.
I wonder if our viewers can see that cross-court pass because we have the exact angle that you need. When they're trapping like that, you should be able to see the open guy underneath.
Yeah, the shot clock discussion's a difficult one, you know. I mean, it's kind of like the overtime rule in the NFL, you know. It seems like people only talk about it in big moments like this, and I understand, and I think it would be a more fun sport to watch with a shot clock. But, you know, everybody's playing by the same rules.
Oh, Bumgarner finally hits a three-pointer and a sigh of relief, and a timeout by Coach Brown. As it's 37-25, 5:40 to play in the second half. Fouls right now, 5 for Central, 3 for Medford. 4 timeouts left for Central, 3 for Medford. As you were talking about, the whole shot clock, as you said, most of the time it's brought up in the postseason. It has been installed in Iowa. This is their first year for it. There were several comments saying we had no issues. Things went pretty smoothly. I think it's South Dakota and North Dakota have had theirs for several years. Minnesota's about to install theirs. I just think it would help the game as far as I know that there's probably going to be some bad shots, but honestly, there's bad shots even in a game where there's no shot clock. So
right.
It will kind of speed up the game a little bit, and you won't have that holding for 2 minutes and 40 seconds as we saw at the Onalaska game, or the overtime that happened at Central for Onalaska in the regular season where we had 5 minutes of play and 2 possessions of the basketball. I rest my case.
I got another shout out if you're done with your case.
Thank you. Get out of this.
Listen to this
please.
one. Patrick and Tawny O'Rourke are Onalaska fans who are tuned in cheering for Central. They might be the only Onalaska fans out there that are tuned in cheering for Central tonight. So Patrick and Tawny O'Rourke, thank you so much for watching. Tawny, of course, is the health assistant at Spence Elementary. Does a great job. So
wow,
glad you're
you.
enjoying the broadcast. And we won't hold it against you that you're Onalaska fans.
Well, no, if that's where they go, I understand that.
Well, still.
Well, yeah, root for the MVC. Although it would have been hard. Well, yeah.
We'll
I was
just
going
leave
to
it
say.
at that.
I was going to say that it'd be hard not to root for Medford for me if they were playing on Alaska, only because the small town feel. We were talking about that a little bit while we were eating supper today
Right.
too. It just brings me back to my hometown, which had 200 people. Medford's a little bit bigger than that. 37-25. We have a foul called as Stokes got it away from Brindley, but they said contact from behind. Brindley crosses half court. Stokes on him still. Strittmatter, Bumgarner guarding him. Brindley going to get trapped. Look out. Freed open underneath. Oh, he missed the layup, and he lost the ball on the way up for the second time, but Williams is there. Holy cow. Nami, they need your adjustments that you make at home.
Well, these neutral sites.
We need to take a deep breath here.
Williams does that and drives all the way in and scores, Coach Arnold.
I was going to say, we need to pull that ball out and have someone grab it and take a deep breath. It seems like Central still a little scattered. And
Take a
in the
deep breath.
moment.
Keep calm and get the ball to Nick Williams.
Stokes nearly traveled, got it away, and now it's Harabi over on the far side. Deep 2, short-armed it. Rebound, Freed.
I actually really liked it when Bennett was up at the top because he's got the best length on the floor. And what they're really trying to do with this 1-3-1 trap or whatever it is they're doing is they're trying to get you to have to lob the ball in the air over their guys' hands so they can intercept the pass. And with Bennett, he doesn't have to lob it. His hands are higher than everyone else's.
Yep.
He can just throw a straight pass right from the top.
That is the second foul on Stokes. That evens fouls at 5s. 4:29. Oh, got to watch out. Right behind Strittmatter was Rudolph. Meyer crosses half court. There you go. You wanted Freed up top. Placed on him.
Strong with the ball here.
Right,
Just no turnover.
Got to get rid of it, though.
Yep.
And Stokes fouls Brindley. Boy, are they trying to get to the bonus here? Is that
I
the
think
idea?
they're taking the long approach here, and it seems like based on how their coach was acting and the intent of that foul, I think they are waiting until Brindley gets the ball to try to foul him.
Oh, like the old hack-a-shack, huh?
Yes.
Now Brindley at the free throw line on the year 12 of 20 coming into the postseason. I did not bother to ask
Oh, what
Mr.
a move.
Podeski for updated stats, and a layup good for Bennett Freed. He is up to 14, and the lead now balloons to 16.
What a step through by Bennett there. That was beautiful.
And charging in is Kleist, Freed, and no call on either way.
I like that. I like that no call. Sometimes fans think there has to be a whistle. That's just good play right there. He was in position. Offensive guy was also going well. No call, I like it.
And then Kleist fouls Freed for the 7th foul, and bonus time for the Riverhawks. The only guy for Central that's been on the free throw line tonight is Bennett Freed. They've literally 2 for 2. That's it for Central. On the other side, 2 for 4 for Medford. So they've let them play tonight.
Well, we complained earlier when there was whistle, whistle, whistle in one of our
my.
girls games. I'd rather have this. I'd
Yes.
rather let the boys be out there playing and let the action happen.
That was our regional semifinal that we called for the girls, was it not?
That was brutal. 57 fouls or something. That was not fun.
I was losing track, that's for sure. So Freed with the air ball, stop, pop, three-pointer. Harabi misses, saved, but into the hands of Meyer and Bumgardner.
Quick foul.
Oh, and Bumgardner had a little words with the official too. The official gave him a look. And we go from one end all the way to the other with Henry Meyer going to the free throw line. Someone not named Bennett Freed. Meyer at the free throw line of the season, 80%. Williams, 84. Freed at 58. He'll want that air ball back. You might have to run the old lines tomorrow for that air ball. We called them something else, but I don't like that word. We called them something else when you ran baseline to quarter court.
Yeah.
I don't know what they call them
Monsters.
now.
Sometimes
Monsters,
they're
there you go.
called.
That I'll take that over.
We
what
call
them.
them touchdowns.
Touchdown.
Yeah. But not the good kind of
Some
touchdowns.
people call them ladders.
Not
Running the ladder.
not
I
the
have
Coach
heard that
Arnold
too.
touchdowns. Those are good things.
Right.
Well, I
Med-
coach defense, so I don't know if
Oh, that's true. Yeah, that's right.
touchdowns are great for me.
That's right. You don't like touchdowns.
Bumgardner shorted. Got another one. Launches. And then Kleist gets the rebound. Put back good. So 2 chances there and converted to 2 points. But it's 3:06 and it's a 16-point game that Central has the lead. As we found out, what was that final score again you gave me earlier for New London? Beating Rosening?
61 to 57. Can I do some shout-outs during this timeout?
Go ahead.
All right. Shout out to Joe Cerniak, who actually texted a big, long rebuttal to your argument for a shot clock, but I'm not going to read it because I don't want to get you started on it. So we'll
He
just say
against it?
Well, he's against it.
Well, that's why I have a microphone and he don't.
That's right. Greg Erickson, thank you for tuning in. I don't know about your comment, but sure, I'll go with that. Want to shout out. This is a special shout out. I got to do a special shout out here. Let me find it.
This is through Facebook now, I think Nami's got. He's got Twitter, he's got Facebook, he's got
So I wanna
Instagram, TikTok, and everything else.
I want to shout out the Extreme 14 Adidas Girls Club Volleyball. Do you want to know who my favorite players from that team are? Ella Crawford, Ellie Gillitzer, and McKaylee Close. My 3 favorite players on the Extreme 14 Adidas Girls Volleyball team. Thanks for tuning in, you guys. I hope you're enjoying the broadcast. All right. I think that's good for now, isn't it?
Yeah, I would say so.
And Mr. Buxton says he will be here Saturday.
Okay, good. Had we found out the final then? I mean, Aquinas was leading by 20.
Yes,
so
it was 69-41 the last I heard.
69-41. Congratulations to Aquinas. They'll move into the championship game. Is that played on Saturday?
Yes, it is.
All right, excellent. Congratulations to the Blue Golds. Hopefully Coach Donarski's oldest daughter gets a couple more wins in the Big 12 championship tournament that'll be happening this weekend as well.
We won't talk about those Badgers.
Well, the Sooners were already out too, but the Iowa State men got a huge win today. Hey, by the way, that's the other reason why you hear a lot of Cyclone stuff. I have a microphone. I'm going to pub them. Sorry, but I'm a big Cyclone fan. They had a big win today.
These Iowa guys, I tell you.
I know.
Yeah.
That third foul on Kleist puts Bennett Freed back at the free throw line. And he's good with the first.
I'm all right with Iowa, Nami. I like food. I love
That's
farmers.
True. That's true.
Oh, Iowa boys. Oh, the Iowa men got beat. The Iowa women may not get beat for quite a while the way they're playing. And Freed goes in with another one. Inbounding will be Baumgartner. It's 45-27. 18-point lead, just 3 minutes left. Central eyeballing the section final where they got last year and defeated Medford. This time it'll have to be New London.
I'd look for a shot to go up the moment Baumgartner touches it here.
That's what I was thinking. He ain't going to pass it off, and he goes all the way inside. Foul on Meyer, and that's his second. Shots, or 2 foul shots coming for Baumgartner. He just never got in rhythm, Coach Arnold. I mean, you and I were talking about, you said you even rewatched the game for the Riverhawks and Medford Raiders. And Baumgartner just tonight, I got him for, let's see, that's his 10th point all in the second half. He averages 20, and he had 21 the first time. But you said some of those 3 were a little late. Those 2 for 2 at the free throw line there.
Well, and it was still a game late. So
right,
those threes
right.
definitely mattered.
You hate to see You hate to see a senior go out like that, especially one that's had as special of a career as Baumgartner.
And the foul is on Baumgartner, who took a shot to the face. He's pleading his case, but he's going to lose that with Meyer at the free throw line. Double bonus time, too, for Central.
There was nothing intentional about that or flagrant. Henry is clearing space, which he has a right to do when he catches the ball. Baumgartner was playing tight defense on him. I mean, you got hit because you were right in his grill.
Right. Well, and I think the momentum of Baumgartner coming up at the same time as
Right.
Meyer's turning, it just so happened that that was the time where Meyer turned. I mean, there really wasn't anything else to it other than that. Good for Henry Meyer. Cool, calm, collective at the free throw line have been the Riverhawks here in the second half, and they lead 47-29. That shot by Harabi was partially blocked. Baumgartner gets a second chance, and he scores. And a foul called on Rudolph, and Boston Brindley will go to the free throw line. So that foul on Metz. Sorry.
No, you're fine. If I'm Central here, the ball goes through the hoop.
Oh, no foul. Timeout.
And the clock does not stop, right? And usually the referees give you a second or two to grab the ball before they start their 5-second count. Seems like Central's really rushing to grab the ball out of the net and get it in play. Maybe you don't want them to be able to set up their press, but I wonder if Coach Ferget is telling them to take a deep breather really quickly here. We might be able to run a few seconds off the clock before we just throw it in as fast as we possibly can.
I would guess that was the reasoning, too, was not to have the setup of the press. for Medford, 47-31. Thank you again to Exceed Concrete, exceeding your expectations for being our sponsor of the night. You can visit their website or contact them for a free quote. 608-787-7777.
Exceed Concrete, our sponsor. Do you know who our fan of the game is?
You have another one?
Well, not another one. Bubba Lever, 2 nights in a row, fan of the game for Bubba Lever. He's getting into elite territory with 2 in a row. We'll see if he can make it the 3-peat on Saturday. Won't that be something?
And they, very late. With Boston Brindley was halfway across the timeline, and then the foul was called on Rudolph, who was by his bench.
And we got 2 shots now, so.
Right. Been a double bonus.
It's a tough hole to dig yourself out of once you get to double bonus.
79-55, that was the Aquinas final. 2:26 here in our ball game. 47-31, Boston Brindley at the charity stripe for the Central Riverhawks. Brindley with 2 points. Remember, it came on the run of the sea parting like Moses. And he scored the layup with nobody around him. And 0 for 2 at the free throw line for Boston Brindley. Is turning into one of my favorite kids this period. And an air ball ends up in the lap of Ty Metz. Air ball by Bumgardner. Meyer back to Williams. Williams breaks press. Inside Stripmatter. They break press through the Central Riverhawks and get a layup out of it. And Brindley's all over Bumgardner, and then Williams standing there as Bumgardner has his momentum carry him. And that's the 7th foul on Central. Have a bad foul there. Stop the clock. 49-33. Trading buckets is okay, but you don't really necessarily want the clock to stop. You want Medford to utilize some of that time so that way they have limited possessions here coming down the stretch at the 2-minute warning.
You can really see Central's offensive display here tonight. How do you defend this team? I mean, if you go man-to-man, you have guys going around you because they're so quick and athletic. If you go zone, they're tall and lanky enough to be able to throw it over the top of the zone like Coach Arnold talked about. If you try to trap them, they find the open man and get open looks. If you try to press them, they're quick enough and athletic enough to get it down the floor and get a layup. What do you do with this team? I can't imagine having to match up with this team and figure out how are we going to stop this. You can't focus on one guy. They have 3 guys that could get 20-plus at any given night. They have Boston on defense. They're just a special team.
They really are, and it's hard to find the weakness, but you know, coaches are finding it. New London's coach might be firing up the stream right now and trying to figure it out as that they're the ones that advanced earlier over Mosinee. And so they are into the section final with that 61-57 win. Remember, they were up 8 or 10 even, I think. We at one time we got the score a couple times from another broadcaster that's here near us. Mosinee, of course, is in that same conference as the Medford Raiders, that Great Northern Conference, as Meyer cans his first free throw, has another one coming.
You know, and then some possessions you do get Bennett stymied, you do get Nick stymied, you do get Henry stymied, and Peyton Stripmatter hits a 3 on you,
right.
or Tyler Young hits a 3. We saw that against Aquinas.
Yes.
It's like, gosh, I don't know how you would defend this team. I just don't.
Bumgardner, quick 3, got it.
Happy
this
for
game
Bumgardner
is
to
not over yet, though. 51-38.
Happy for Bumgardner to start getting some shots to fall here.
How do you not call the foul on that? I mean, they hit Nick Williams on the back to get the foul called.
There it is.
Yeah.
That works in Central's favor. I mean,
it
does.
Their
best free throw shooter, I think.
Yep.
Right. Harabi, though, had the foul early, and then the clock kept moving.
Yep.
And even Harabi was saying,
it's an uncomfortable position for the refs to be in. I mean, it's a 13-point game. The minute and a half to go. Sometimes, you know, refs get flack for calling touchy fouls at the end when kids are just going for the ball. And so, you know, no matter what you do, the refs or the fans aren't going to be very happy with you.
Williams goes 2 for 2. How about these clutch free throws that the Riverhawks keep hitting here in this second half? 53-38. Bumgardner,
nice,
yes, it was. Just short. Kleiss there for the rebound. Back out to Harabi. 3-pointer. Nope. Rebound. Once again, Metz. Bumgarner three-pointer. He fell over. And out of bounds off of Medford. They call it off of Metz.
Got a 1:05 left in the game. Sorry, folks. I forgot to click start on the clock there.
Yeah, 65 seconds left. Looks like Medford taking out some of their starters, getting a nice round of applause by the faithful down in front of us. They brought a nice crowd.
They might send them back in after the next possession here. Because we
True.
saw this before. Coach might be trying to go possession for possession
That's
here.
true.
They know they're probably going to foul. So take Baumgartner off the floor to put him back on when Central's shooting free throws. I bet we'll still see Baumgartner one more time.
Yeah, it's Rudolph, Metz, and Bumgarner all coming out the floor at once.
Joel, listen to this. We have another fan of the game, Thies Mueller from Recklinghausen, Germany, tuning into the broadcast tonight. So we are international right now. Thank you, Thies, for tuning in. We hope you're enjoying the broadcast. We are international. We're across the pond right now.
How in the world did he know about this?
Don't know, but I love it.
And how did you get that?
Somebody told me he was watching.
Okay.
You know, maybe we can work with the foreign languages department at Central and get a foreign broadcast,
That's a good idea.
different language. That
Yeah.
could be a little project for some of the teachers. Maybe Profe can get on that and get really international.
We could have a Spanish broadcast team, a German broadcast
That's
team.
right.
Yeah.
We are not the WWE. 38-53 our score.
Joel always crushing my dreams.
I know,
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
yeah.
That was my nickname in high school, the Dream Crusher.
I see why now.
No, I'm just kidding. Actually, my nickname in high school was Norm.
Oh, that's good to know, too. I'll use that.
Yeah, I'm sure you will.
Mhm.
It's from Cheers, actually. I
Ah.
got called that back in my third grade. A senior at my high school called me that. Said, that little kid looks like Norm. Cheers. And my dad's name's Norm, so I just assumed he was calling me by my dad's name, and here you go. And so I called him Leland because that was his dad's name. Little did I know that it was actually from Cheers. I was little. It's not like I knew who he was. George Wendt. Williams at the free throw line. There's your history lesson on my nickname from high school. It
So
stuck
you
all the way
walked
through,
in the
too.
room and everybody yelled Norm?
A lot of times, yes. As Williams hits the free throw, that foul was on Stokes, his fourth.
We got a correction on Thies. Thies is actually a foreign exchange student here at Central this year. So he's from Germany. He's here, and he's actually at the game tonight, which
Oh
is
my
cool.
gosh, that's awesome.
So what an experience for him. And
Right. That's
pretty-
so cool.
Pretty cool to have foreign exchange students.
My high school had a couple of foreign exchange students. They were always so cool. One of them was from Switzerland. That guy was awesome. Tom was just so cool. Of course, he taught us all the stuff that we shouldn't know. And Brindley called for the fourth foul. Bumgarner at the free throw line. He's a perfect 4 for 4.
Really just a surgical performance tonight by the Central offense. I thought that was fantastic, the way they were able to dissect the defense, figure out what Medford was trying to do to them, and always had an answer for any defense they saw.
Bumgarner misses the front end of the 1-and-1, and Meyer gets fouled and go from one end all the way to the other. The old stroll to Grandma's house for 2 with Henry Meyer at the free throw line.
The stroll to Grandma's house?
Yeah, all the way from one end to the other. You got to go down that giant lane to Grandma's house on the farm. Didn't you have a grandma that lived on a farm? I did. 55-38. Hadn't heard that one yet, have you?
Nope.
Yep. You get all the McCall-isms up here when you pop on the broadcast.
The normisms.
It must
Don't
be an
st-
Iowa
don't start
phrase.
that,
It must
Nani.
be an Iowa
Please
phrase.
don't. It probably is an Iowa thing. Meyer 8 for 8 at the free throw line. He's not at the free throw line now, so Anissa, you can't get mad at me.
That's right.
Bumgarner, what a three-pointer.
He turned around and, like, where has that been all game?
Right.
Yep.
Yeah.
57-41, another timeout taken.
It's almost more frustrating, you know, when you're trying to hit the downtown shot all night from a kid who normally does that very efficiently. At this point in the game, for it to go in, you almost kind of roll your eyes at it. Like like you said,
Right.
where has that been?
Yep.
Well, and you're talking about him. He shoots 46%. We're talking about Logan Bumgarner for Medford. He shoots 46% from the field, 25% from downtown is his season average. Tonight I had him Ooh, 7 buckets made, 21 shots.
Just one of those nights.
Yeah.
Yep.
One of those nights. So.
And that's really something.
All of them in the second half, by the way. All of his makes.
And that's something that makes Central unique in the sense that if one of their guys is having a night like that, they have other guys that can step up and still provide that 20, 25 points. You know, it's hard when you depend on one person because if that one person isn't making their shots, then you're in a little bit of trouble. Central isn't in that situation.
But credit to Coach Arnold because he was talking about Harabi at the pregame and saying that's the guy that needs to step up. He has 2 points.
Right.
That's it.
Less than last game.
Right. He's 1 for 9 shooting.
And I expect to see the ball dribbled out here.
Yeah, I can't imagine that Medford's going to try more fouls. But no, Coach Fergut's going to call his timeout for substitutions. And here comes the starters out. And the whole host of the Riverhawks come in. Wilk, Omario's out there, Cahill, Dingle, Young's inbounding.
All of them getting a nice round of applause from the Central parent section.
As they should.
Yep.
Standing ovation. Thank you, Buxton. And Cahill getting all the way inside. A little flip shot with his left. No good. He ripped the ball away. And Crossy Nardine comes back with it.
Great effort.
And only 20 seconds left. Now I think the Riverhawks will just sit on it.
Hey, we're going to a sectional final,
There
you guys.
you go. 57-41 is the final as the Central Riverhawks take another one over Medford as they did last year in the section final. This time it's the section semifinal, and the winner awaits New London. So Central has to play New London on Saturday at 2 o'clock in Marshfield. And credit to the Medford Raiders, and their season comes to a close at 22-5. They were the Great Northern Conference champions for head coach Ryan Brown.
Just a great effort tonight by Central. Offensively, I thought they did a nice job attacking the basket. Coach Fergut, like usual, did a good job with the game plan. He was able to counteract any defense that Medford put on them and was able to find the open shots that they needed to find. Shots weren't falling early. Got a little better there in the second half. You know, the effort, too, the effort that we saw early on, Boston Brindley right away at crashing the offensive boards, and then, of course, the defense that we had come to expect from Boston, but all over Baumgartner. Really made it a rough night for Baumgartner. And they're getting a sectional final appearance for their efforts tonight. Really exciting time for Central boys basketball. As they're going to go over and celebrate with the student section who rode the fan bus. Most of them rode the fan bus up.
If you can believe it, Baumgartner finished with 21.
I can believe it.
Yeah.
All in the second half, but boy, oh boy, was he. It's almost a quiet 21, honestly, because of what happened in the first half. Nick Williams finished with 14 and 10 of those in the second half. Stripminer with 2 for Brindley. Bennett Freed in double digits. He finishes with 16, so he doubled up 8 and 8 in the first and second half. Henry Meyer, 10, 13, 15, 23 for Henry Meyer. Well, so he had the high score of the night. The game high 23, Michael Jordan number. If you remember that guy, he's pretty good. Final.
That's one way to say it. He's pretty good.
He's pretty good. He's all right.
Yeah, I mean, as I'm looking at the game, I think it's just the key here tonight was Central's defense. You know, they got 3 great scorers who put a high point total up tonight in Henry, Bennett, and Nick. But you really can't undervalue how well their defense plays. I mean, Baumgartner had 0 points. Harabi had 2 points in the first half.
Right.
When those two guys who are averaging a combined 35 points together throughout the whole season, and you hold them to 2 points together in one half, it's really, really hard to bounce back from that. And even though Baumgartner had 21 points, he showed a very impressive offensive skill set in the second half. It was a little too late, right?
And he needed 21 shots to get to those 21 points, so it wasn't very efficient. Before we get to our very final stats, Nami, why don't you thank our sponsor, Exceed Concrete one more time.
Yeah, once again, without their sponsorship, we would not be here tonight. The game would not have been streamed. So thank you so much to our sponsor, Exceed Concrete, who are always exceeding your expectations. And their mission is simple: to bring your dreams to life and to offer the highest quality service and experience. We are dedicated to being a business that continually exceeds expectations and provides the finest quality of work and products. We strive to provide unsurpassed services to our respected customers. We transform ordinary concrete into extraordinary works of art. From decorative concrete surfaces to durable epoxy flooring, we enhance the functionality and beauty of your space. Trust us to handle all of your concrete needs, from foundations to custom designs, with skill and precision. Contact them at 608-787-7777 or on the internet at exceedconcrete.com and get your free quote today. Thank you once again to Exceed Concrete.
They're helping us out again on Saturday, so they will be our sponsor once again and allow us to do that game in Marshfield. Final stats for the evening. 6 of 9 for the Medford Raiders at the free throw line. They go 3 of 23 from downtown, 23 for Logan Bumgardner, and 10 for Charlie Kleist. And then the other side for the Central Riverhawks, 2 for Boston Brindley, 14 for Nick Williams, 2 for Peyton Stripmutter, 16 for Bennett Free, 23 for Henry Meyer. The Riverhawks shot 1 of 11 from downtown. The only deep shot they hit was the deep one from Henry Meyer to top the key. However, they do go 16 of 18 at the free throw line to win the game 57-41. So we got the game at New London and Central coming up on Saturday. Thank you so much, Coach Arnold, for subbing in tonight. We really do appreciate it. You did a great job helping us out with the score bug and your insight. We really appreciated it.
Hey, thanks. I enjoyed it a lot. Love listening to you guys when I'm at home and not able to come, and it's even more fun to stand next to you guys, too.
Safe travels for anybody that is out there that are heading home from either here or wherever you are. Safe travels. For Nami George, thank you. Yes.
Yeah, just one thing. Remember, the game is at 2 p.m. on Saturday.
Right.
So if you're tuning in, it'll be early. We'll be on the air probably
about 1:45.
1:45.
Yeah, I would say 1:45 is when
Yep.
we'll be on the air. For Nami George then and Coach Arnold, I'm Joel McCall. 57-41 our final. The Central Riverhawks get the win tonight and advance to the section final over the Medford Raiders. Thank you so much for tuning in here on the Central Riverhawks YouTube channel. Good night.